So sometimes, in order for us to kind of, escape the matrix of life, because even just as the internet has a matrix and they're talking about virtually it's a matrix, life can get somewhat in a can somewhat seem as matrix to do the same as matrix can as well. What does matrix do? What do you do when you feel like your mind is in a matrix? You try to figure out so many different things, trying to figure out so many different solutions, and all at the same time you're vulnerable to a situation. So it's just like you're trying to figure out this problem, trying to figure out that problem, and in the midst of trying to figure out all it is, you're getting a lot of feedback from each place. You're getting so much energy that's coming in. While you're brainstorming that way, there's more energy. It's energy that's coming in as well. So not only are you thinking out, but there's you think whenever, so it's just like the more you put out, just like it's common sense, you put out, you bring in, you receive, what you're putting out, you're receiving at the same time. So it's just like when you're putting out in so many different areas of your life and you're thinking about this, you're thinking about that, you're thinking about this, now you're receiving everything that's coming. You're receiving, and all of that energy is also coming to you. So it's like you're trying to find a solution, but in the midst of finding a solution, you're also receiving so much, and you can't get to one point, or you can't figure out that one solution when everything is just kind of just clouding your judgment, and you're just, trying to figure it all out. That's the best way I can put it. So what I said is that this is going to be like a mind activity for us. And I looked at this picture on YouTube, kind of caught my attention. And we're going to look at this picture. Really couldn't get my point across, but, I think I did the best way that I could. It's just, so yeah. So this picture, they just kind of just, caught my attention. So I'm going to go to my post. Especially when you think about something for too long. That's the thing. When you think about something for too long, it tends to become less relevant. And at this type, in my type of situation, this is relevant. This is something serious. So it's just like, when it's serious, you can't just sit around and ponder about it for too long. It's more about taking action towards the situation. If this phone lets me get to the post. That's what I hate about phones. They irritate me. I'll go to my subscriptions. Actually, it talks about the matrix right here. So in this post, it talks about the matrix. It says an intolerance for lower vibrational things. That's basically what I'm saying. Like, you putting out this energy, and then you can be receiving different energy at the same time. You're not really, it's like trying to, it's kind of like an astral projection type thing with the mindset. Mentally, it's like astral projection, because when you're thinking about something, you're receiving from that end. So it's best not to think about something for too long, because then you start receiving all of that energy, and you're mixing your feelings in that vibration that you're currently, the energy that you're vibrating at. Like, you could be so positive, but the more mentally you put into something, is the same energy you'll get back. So it says, of the 3D reflected in conversations, attitudes, social structures, healing modalities, etc. They literally make you feel sick inside. When we begin arriving in higher realms or a higher vibration, our energies are no longer in alignment with the old, outside 3D world. Through a severe intolerance to old, we are being pushed to move forward to create the new. So we're being pushed, we're being pressured, and this is a time where you kind of just got to get back into alignment and become self-centered within your own being. In addition, you may feel like staying home or just being alone as much as everything out there no longer matches the higher vibration of you. This is simply a very common experience of evolution. We are moving forward before the outside manifestations are. Being in the old can feel downright awful. It is similar to having to go back after you have had a near-death experience as the ascension process continues. It is similar to having to go back after you have a near-death experience. Basically, it's similar to like it's it's like going back to that feeling, experiencing everything that you've experienced mentally. It's not like you having that near-death experience. You're like, oh, this happened to me. I felt, and you're feeling, and you're traumatized by that situation. It's like having to go back to that experience that you experienced in that near-death experience as ascension process continues. So you're ascending, but in the midst of your ascending, you're remembering, you're traumatized by those dark times, or all of that. It's kind of just, it's interfering with your vibration, and it's interfering with your journey, and it's interfering with you going on or moving up the way you're supposed to. So that was a post that I just came across called Vibrating Out of the Matrix. So what I wanted to go to, see, now my phone ain't working again. It got me stuck. Dang, I hate this. Okay, so we're going to go to the post that I just seen. And she makes some very, creative posts. All her posts catches my attention because it be right on point. It be so interesting. I love her posts because it just resonates with me. It always resonates with me. Why is it so hard getting to this one post? It's really not letting me go to it. It keeps taking me back up to the top. Technology is the one thing that just makes you frustrated. And that's another thing, It's easy to get frustrated. It's easy for people to frustrate you, especially, when you're in a position of being frustrated, such as using technology and being on technology and revolving your life around technology. It's easy for you to get frustrated. See, I just passed up the post. Okay, so this is the post I'm talking about. So in this post, there is a woman. She has hair. She has flowers in her hair. And how she's holding the cat, that basically caught my attention. She's holding the cat, and the cat is like a formation of her chest. You can see the cat's chest is against her chest, and it goes out into a belly. It's kind of like that. What I get from this picture is that you contain, we endure. It's like we're enduring all of this energy. I could see the cat being such as a symbolization of a dark energy. You know how cats absorb. They absorb energy, so that's kind of how our belly is and how our chest is, absorbing all of this energy. And then the fact that, her hair is the same color as the cat, I can kind of say, that the hair can kind of, it go hand in hand with the cat, absorbing energy of life. Cat, what is a cat? A cat is nothing but more so like a hairball of energy. What does cats do? They always spitting out hairballs and this and that. It just, it makes sense in a way, especially if you got that artistic eye, that eye for art. It kind of just speaks out to you in a whole different way, such as her dress. Her dress is made of a bunch of flowers. What are we but the essence of nature? She has flowers in her hair, the essence of nature, and the cat is, close to her. The cat is close to her in a way, because what does cats love? Cats love nature. They love being in nature. So maybe this is the attraction, of the cat towards the human, towards this human being. You know, I see you and I feel you as such as nature. What is a woman? A woman is symbolized as Mother Nature. So that nurturing feeling, such as us women as universal beings, you know, women, we have that natural sense. You know, we take care of nature. We're in nature, taking care of nature. I mean, we're natural we're natural nurturers to life. So cats are attracted to us because we are natural beings. We're nature. We're nurturers. You know, we have children and we have that nurturing instinct within us, and this is why the cat is cradled up with the woman, as such as we endure this. You know, we have no other, it's in our nature to endure this type of energy, and that cat is a symbolization of that energy. So yeah, that's what I got out of that picture. I just wanted to share that because it's just like a lot of these posts are just resonating with me, and the more she posts, it's just like I can resonate. And this is a moment, just like sometimes you got to just take your mind away from everything, you know. Life can get so confusing, and this is when God points you in the direction of, you know, do this instead. It's a lot going on in this area. I'm gonna direct you in this way. It's a lot going on in this area. I'm gonna direct you in this way. No matter which way you go, as long as you're a believer in Christ and you're a child of Christ, then you don't have to be afraid of whatever you're doing. You know, don't hold back or anything, because whatever you're doing, God can be in the midst of, you know, whatever you're pursuing. God is in the midst of whatever you're pursuing. God is leading you to do this, so do it, you know. Maybe God is working on you in a way. God pointed this picture out to me, you know, to actually get me to a point where I can actually get to know where is your mind at right now. You know, just like in one of my videos before, I talked about where God gets to a point where every you know, just like every ascension in your life, like ascending into being a better Christ-like person, ascension of wherever you're ascending, this is a time where God is saying, where are you at now? I need to know exactly where you are at now, and this is basically a reflection of that. You know, where are you at? Let me know your mind. Let me get to know where you are mentally, so that I can work with you in this area. You know, it's a lot that's been going on with me, you know, through the incident with the crew members. You know, they called the police on me and this and that. I was being bothered in that way. You know, a lot of that takes a toll on my mind. The fact that they evicted me for something so little, that has a toll on my mind. So sometimes God uses tools and God uses people to do things to kind of grasp your attention, grasp your mind, so that I can figure out where you are, what I need to heal, what they did to kind of mess you up in a moment, or what they did to your mind, so I can fix that part of you mentally. You know, let me in and let me, you know, fix what needs to be fixed, because they broke this, and now I have to repair you. I have to fix you. You know, so where are you at in your life? And wherever you're at, pay attention, pay close attention, and just open up to that moment, so that God can, you know, so that God can heal you and see where you are spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Let God in, because this is what, you know, this is that time where God is asking, where are you at on the map? So yeah. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe, be notified, share at your own free will to show you care. Bye.